Welcome in. It is day 306, and you're speaking with the Meeples Champion. And today, we're going to be going into a game I haven't played in a long time. I've only played this game on 3 occasions, but they were big, crazy blasts of days. The game is called Eclipse. Now, Eclipse is a space battling war game, but it's a little bit more than just that. Eclipse comes with so many aspects. You've got multiple types of ships, and you can be upgrading these ships. You can improve the speed, you can improve the shields, you can improve the guns. You've got different planets that you're trying to get out to, and you're trying to conquer these planets, and the planets give you different types of resources. You're going to have to gather these resources in order to go off and to buy these upgrades and to invest in your ships. You're going to keep on going through, and the idea of the game most likely is that you're going to end this in a crazy space battle. Now, the space battle, like most of the old school fight 'em out, big war games, different ships come with different types of dice. You're going to roll these out. You're going to see what the results are. They're going to give you a hit or they're not a hit. And then they're going to be targeted at a certain opponent, and that opponent has to spread the hits throughout their particular ships. What makes this game different is that when you enter into a fight, it's up to the spot that you've entered, and then the fight begins. And this can happen with multiple players at once. Now, the last time I played this game, which was probably about 8 years ago, we actually ended up having a 4-way fight on a single square. So when the fight began, it was a 2-on-2 affair. We were, clearly there were 2 players who were going crazy at it, and they were trying to wipe me out. One of these other guys jumped into the square, he teamed up with me, and we were going back and forth. And we did so until we knocked out one of those 2 opponents. At which point, on the next roll, it was announced that the person who had partnered with me was betraying me, was joining the other side, and was now aiming all of his dice at me. So, essentially, he realized, well, if I go 3-on-1, we're going to easily wipe him out. But then, those 2 have been pretty friendly most of the game, I'll be in some trouble. So he made the decision, I'm going to have to team up with him, make sure we get down 1 player. Then I can team up with the other player, we can wipe him out, and then, based on that result, either we just decide to end the battle, or we fight it out and see who gets the remaining of the force. Well, that's what it turned into. So I ended up being in a 2-on-2, wiped out 1 opponent, now it's 2-on-1, but I'm on the bad side of it. We end up going back and forth. I actually was such a power in the game that I ended up surviving and wiped out both of their forces and won the game. But the game doesn't have to be won in space battle. You're going for many things, and the space battles is just a great way to achieve it, because you're trying to get a bunch of different types of point scoring things, whether that's owning particular planets, getting certain objectives complete. So by wiping out a space force and being the last one left, it means nobody's going to be coming at you. You've earned whatever you can earn as far as victory goes. That's going to feed into you. You now can go, and without much opposition, you'll be able to more easily conquer some planets, maybe be able to achieve whatever is required for you to finish the game. It's a good game. In fact, I'd even say it's a great game. But there are a lot of games like this, and we're going to probably go into what those games are during this review. But why don't we jump in? Let's talk our 7 categories and see where this game lands for us. When it comes to the art, the game is nice. I think that the box does a great job of selling space. It's selling that it's a dark sci-fi style game. It's a good box. I think that it's much better when you set the game up, because when you're putting out all of these hexagons, you're making your space, you've got your ships and your individual player boards, this looks appealing. This is, instead of it being, oh, that is what that is and it's good, this is now, what is that? You may even know, but you don't care because it's intriguing. So to me, the art, thumbs up. Your components. Primarily, your components are going to be cards. There's not a lot. Really, it's about cardboard. Loads of upgrades and resources, all in cardboard. And then there's going to be little bits of wood and little bits of plastic. The plastic for all your ships, the wood will be for some of the resources going on the board. It's a really well put together game. It's, I think, one of those games that is You find out where its price is when you open the box and you see its resources, because they've really, all these components, just invested. So for me, the components, thumbs up. Your price. Now, I'm not sure where this may average these days, but I want to say back in the day, this game was at least $80. So I'm not sure if that's gone up or down during this time. My gut tells me it has to have gone probably up, because it's going to be a little bit harder to find this game now. And this is one of those games, back in the day you could find it at every board game store. Probably these days I'd say one or two, but you're never finding more than one in stock. You might find it online, but it's more expensive there. You're never seeing this in a Target or a Barnes & Noble. And it's expensive. It's a really expensive game. So the question is, if you're getting a game like this, is it going to be worth it for, one, is it a good game? It is a good game. Is it going to get played a lot? I don't think it will. And if it's not, is it a game that's one of those like once a year experiences for you? I don't think so. I have another game I would much rather play to do that with. I don't own it, but other people that I know own the game. It's more likely that I'm going to go to one of my friends for Twilight Imperium. I think that game does what this game is trying to go for in a much bigger, better, more interesting way. So for me, the price just isn't worth it. It's too much money for not enough time to, not enough game, not enough playing of game. Thumbs down. Your difficulty. I do not recommend this for kids. I do not recommend this for beginners. I feel like I barely recommend this for experienced, because the experienced player can play it. But if they're going to choose a game to play, which one will they choose? As I just said, Twilight Imperium is the game I would choose. And there's a lot of big space battlers. And I don't think a lot of people, unless you're an expert who says, this is my game and I'm going to focus in on this style. So maybe an expert has 5 or 6 of these huge space battle games and they like to switch between them. Sure, that's fine. But even for a high experienced player, I don't think they want to have more than one. They want to find the one big space battle game they can play, because they know they're going to probably pull it out once a year, and that's going to be that time. Otherwise, they're shifting between all their normal style games that take 1 to 2 hours, not their big 4 to 6 hour experience. So for me, I think the difficulty is too hard to get it to the table for most people. Thumbs down. Replayability. I mean, we just talked about it. You're getting this out at most once a year, and you're only getting that out for that one category of people. It's got to be a thumbs down. Keys to victory. So the big one is building your force up and trying to be ready to fight with your ships. But you don't have to do that. You could be going for objectives. You could be going for being a bigger resource person, trading with people, making allies, saying, hey, I don't have a lot of force. I'll trade you guys stuff. Protect me. I'll get the resources you need. In exchange, I just want to not have to spend any of my stuff on my force. So I'm asking for you guys, you do the force. You make the ships. I'll give you the resources needed. You give me some stuff. Let's keep as even as we can and see if we can get to the end of the game and compete for the win against each other. I think that there's a lot of option for that in this game. So I think that the keys to victory are there. Thumbs up. Is the game unique? It's not unique. It's a resource gathering, ship upgrading, big space battle game. There's a bunch of those. Take space out of the equation. There's a bunch of resource gathering, improve on your armies, and fight it out on a board games already. So no, it's not unique. Thumbs down. Overall, what do I think? It was a great experience back then getting to play this. I was really happy I got to. It was, I believe, an early Kickstarter, one of my friends backed, and it was one that I got definitely some good memories from. I'm happy I never invested in buying it. I wouldn't want this in my collection. I think it's a waste of space on most people for putting it on your shelves. I don't think that you need a game this big, and if you're going to get one, you only need the one, and it's just not one I would put in my collection. I think there's too many games that beat it. It's just not special enough. Well, it has been day 306, and we've been speaking about the game Eclipse. And you've been speaking to the Meeples champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description where I'll be adding an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. And if you have a Board Game Arena account, jump online, check it out, look for me, the Meeples Champion, send me a friend request me to play a game with you. Happy to play. I try to get on a couple times a day. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.